Hello everyone, it's just Von, and haven't used that one in a while. And today I will be teaching you 8 advanced setting guides in 4.2 that you need to know. 8! Dude, 8! If you know simple math, you know that's more than 4. I'm just gonna disregard the fact that this video is getting mistitled soon. This guide will be focused only for 4.2 playstyle, not 4. This guide will be focused only for 4.2 playstyle, not 5.1 because I'm not a nerd. Also, take a shot every time I say the word power in this video. I dare you. What I mean by shot is like Coke or something. The good Coke, nothing else. Well, anyways, let's just start the guide. If you are wondering what macro keys I'm using, yeah, let's just call them macros. I use Z, X, C for macro powers and Q and E for adjusting. I actually use the default keys and I also use the same default powers. The first key is 1 power, the second key is 8 power, and the third key is 15 power. In my opinion, these default powers are better mainly because you can quickly switch from low to mid to quick with only very little adjustments. One more thing, if you want to practice being able to switch powers quickly, I suggest you to just play around with your shortcut keys. What I used to do was I'd think of 2 set powers, preferably the ones that can be adjusted for 2 or more powers from the macro keys, and I just repeat it. It can also help you memorize power patterns if you keep on doing this. Say, what is the power pattern for 3? For me, it's Z, E, and E. For 12, C, then 3 Qs. It's just one of those things that you can get used to easily. For this section, I'm gonna say it in advance that doing dumps must only happen once or twice every set, because as a role that's positioned in the front row and on the mid, everyone will be able to see what you are doing clearly, so don't do anything sus in there. Now I will be showing you how to properly do dumps and what powers are the best to use. For me, I normally use 11 spike power, jumping on the area to where the ball is landing and aiming it on this side of the court. The main reason for this is if I see one of their spikers lacking, then I can just abuse the height and the speed of the ball, and it can almost always go over the spiker's head. And since people like to name the first discovery with the founder's name, I will be baptizing this one with Forms taking a huge dump. A max dump or 14 power, if you want a safer dump, is also good as long as you aim it on the corners, and you should never aim in the mids. But if you want to try Forms taking a huge dump, you should do it because it really works well. We can call it FTHD for short. Why the hell does it sound like a disease? I'm also gonna insert this one too, and I'm going to be doing a quick FAQ on this one, and that is directs. Yes, they're on the same category. What you're gonna do. Is it really a good idea to do directs as setter? Yes, as long as you stay in the middle. Don't try to steal your wing spikers direct, otherwise one of you might get stumped or boosted. Where should I aim when doing directs? If the ball came from the middle, do a deep cut or middle long. If it came from the side, let your wing spiker deal with it. What power should I use? Max. Always max. Setter choice is actually a thing in volleyball. Unfortunately, its definition slowly faded away and it became a living meme because of those people who are dropping out of college and starting a YouTube career, also known as people with bad decision making. So painful. What setter choice basically means is the setter will be the one who will decide what to do with the ball, ranging from setting to his or her teammates or dumping, depending on the ball and the team's situation. So as a setter, you definitely need to focus on quite a lot of things inside the court. From where the received ball is going, what type of set the spiker prefers, like if it's a direct set or an antenna, and mostly, which side is the best spot to set. Say we have a left wing spiker that wants a 3, the right wing spiker wants 8. If the received ball went in here, you still can set your left wing spiker because it is a low power, as long as there's enough space for them to spike. But if it went to the right side and the right side wants an 8, you might want to set the other side. One more reason why setting the left wing spiker is a better option in this scenario is because you can confuse the opponent's middle blocker, making them think as if you are going to set your right wing spiker. So in short, if a wing spiker wants a power more than 8 and if the received ball went on their side, choose to set the other wing spiker. Doing flick sets is entirely optional, but it is a way to actually make your sets a bit less readable. The same goes in the wing spiker guide where pre-aiming can also help a lot. One example of pre-aiming is locking your view on one antenna and doing a back set. There's also a mouse flick. If you can do that, then you are a psychopath. There are quite a few tricks when it comes to doing flick sets. One is the basic flick set, a delayed flick set, and possibly the most difficult one to read, the I should stop naming random techniques, but I'm still gonna name this one instant set. Why I said the last one is possibly the most difficult one to read is because the opponent have no time to react about who you are going to set if you have a good timing of doing a flick set. It is considered a perfect set timing when right after you press the set button, the ball is setted. One thing you should remember too when setting is the timing of your shift lock. I personally recommend you to not press the set button first before shift locking because things can get really badly on that one. If you are playing in a foreign server, then it's obvious that you are going to get quite a delay there. So if you are planning to do a delay set flick, better check your ping first. You see, in this game, it's all about positioning. So how to position yourself properly as a setter is just predicting where the ball will land and prepare to set on that spot. That's basically it. But one thing you should never do as a new setter is to never follow the ball after it was received. Otherwise, you might miss the ball or you might give a low set. But if you are an experienced setter, this can also work as a dump decoy. One more important tip on this one is if your opponent did a low power serve and it went near your spot, make sure to leave that spot momentarily so that you won't get bodied and give your receivers a space to give you a clean receive. Adjusting a power from a spiker's preferred power. In my opinion, this is something you should definitely master as a setter. This matters the most when it comes to rallies, if the receive goes over, or if both of your wing spikers are fucking failed Hokages. Now, the question is, this spiker wants 7. If the receive is near his side, what power should I set this spiker in this condition? The most suitable power should be 6. Now, I would like to recommend you that adjusting powers is fine as long as the powers are lower than 8. Say if this wing spiker wants 8, if you want to set this spiker and if you're going to adjust it to 7, it still won't help because the wing spikers option are limited on the situation. And that is only to force a deep cut on this spot, which is not the best decision. Oh, and on this shot, the spiker can hit a straight on that area, but it is way too risky, so it's not recommended to give them the set. If you use 7 or below, however, you can still give them the option to do a quick, straight, a cross, or even a cut. And if you're going to adjust a power, make sure to only decrease it by 1, so be mindful of this. This one I think is definitely a must when it comes to a setter. From the last PP guide, the how to actually spike like a pro in 4.2, I'm going to put a card here if you haven't watched it yet. I'm going to be using the same POV as a spiker, which is 5 to 7 ticks from your mouse scroll. This is Vaughn from the future. By the way, regarding the mouse scroll, it actually depends on the setting of your computer, so I'm just going to base it from this kind of perspective. So yeah, I'm just gonna put that one there. Why you definitely need to get a better view is mainly just because of the ball. As mentioned in the positioning, you will position yourself on where the ball will land. If you don't know where the ball is going, then you have a serious skill issue. And lastly, know your spikers. It is a general rule of thumb that setters must always adjust to the spiker's preferences when it comes to the ball being setted to them. Yellow, I can feel your gaze from the screen, stop it. There are 3 types of them, and those are the direct, the antenna, or the annoyingly persistent entities, known as T. So you should definitely know what type they are. This can help especially if, say, this one spiker wants direct sets because he's the type to do deep cuts. Then you have this guy who wants an antenna set because he can do a very naughty delay spike. Then if there's an ape, just kick him out of the team. And hey, glad you're still here in this part of this video. I hope you enjoyed and probably have learned something in this guide. I personally have been working on this one for quite a long time now, but I have been busy with stuff. Bullshit. So yeah, let me know if you want to learn more about other positions. You can comment them in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.